public intoxication. There's one of those. That's from 2020. You got other warrants for disorderly conduct by gesture. In any event, people are that sees. Let's see. Sir, on those Class Cs, you will be released. And set for Class C misdemeanor docket at 10:30 a.m.
Yeah, forget all about all the people not in the
on
U.S.
November 14 in courtroom number 4 at the municipal court. Sir, you also have a charge of criminal trespass. That is with regard to the
Thank you, Dandelion.
Quick Trip at 221 East Palmer Lane.
This is just pure punishment. It's the only call I can find.
Or not to go to that location. It's a condition of any release, should you be released on bail, and have supervision. Bail is set at $2,500. Do you ask for the court appointment of a lawyer, sir?
No.
Sorry. Oh, no? Okay, thank you.
We might need to jazz this up. I know just the thing.
Number one, know what I'm saying? Number one, know what I'm saying?
Perfect for this judge.
Talk with my crew. Number one, know what I'm saying? Number one, know what I'm saying? Number one, know what I'm saying? Number one,
Yep.
know what I'm saying? Number one.
Mr. Bain, sir, you are charged with criminal trespass, Class B misdemeanor.
I'm charged with.
Bail is set at $2,000.
I'm actually cheap.
You are to stay away from 2901 South Capitol Texas Highway and to have mental health supervision should you be released on any kind of bail. Do you need the court appointment of a lawyer, sir? I cannot hear you, sir. Was that a yes or a no, ma'am? Could you hear it?
No, he said he's gonna be the greatest lawyer you've ever seen.
All right, I take it you're not going to be asking for one at this time. Thank you, sir. Good morning. Mr. Ruiz? Okay.
This is what happens when I'm stuck in my hotel room.
Okay, well, they have you here. I don't see the junior on the. Okay. Well, sir, there are several matters here. One, driving while intoxicated, Class B misdemeanor. Bail for that matter, sir, is set at $4,000.
I don't know if the judge is gonna make it through the call. I gotta be
Then-
honest.
There's a third-degree felony, possession, unlawful possession of firearm by a person been convicted of felony. Bail set at $15,000 in that case. And sir, possession of controlled substance with the intent to deliver. It's methamphetamine, 77 grams thereof. Bail set at 30,000 in that case. Okay, now. In those cases, sir, do you ask for the court appointment of a lawyer?
Excuse me, what charges were they?
They are unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon, driving while intoxicated, and manufacture or delivery, actually possession with intent to deliver methamphetamine, which is a first-degree felony. Bail is set at $30,000 in that case. Now, do you need the court appointment of a lawyer, or will you be hiring one?
I need the court appointment, but I also asked the officer, I told the officer that my fiance is in the back, I have no control.
Look, who was in possession of what? I wasn't there. We've operated on.
We
what
believe you, Judge.
Has been presented to us. You heard about an examining trial, talk to your lawyer about that, and let the lawyer know everything involved with the case so that the lawyer can be of assistance.
I have no more charges pending, so that's it.
Not that I know of, it is per, let's see. Yeah, well, I'm trying to find a fourth.
So I can get a bond on it right now, because they're trying to release me.
Sir. Right now,
So the fourth charge is left.
sir,
Please get a bond.
I will look and you will not. Ruiz.
Oh
Then
my,
release Junior.
Okay, we're gonna check, see if there's anything. So just hold on. Okay, hold on for us. Thank you. Appreciate your patience.
I think this judge slow talking them is all the punishment these guys will ever need. And that
Mr.
would straighten them all out.
Mr. Douglas? Yes, sir. Let me see, Mr. Douglas. Thank you. Sir, you've got a Class C misdemeanor warrant failing to maintain insurance. This is back in 2022. You're being released on that with a court date at on 18 November at 10:30 a.m. courtroom number 4 at the municipal courthouse. And as I told the other gentleman, if you are unable to get to that because
Like, schedule it, like, put it like that, 2-3 days after.
no, that's what it's scheduled for.
I got a court date too on that day, but I can't.
Well, then do the one and then the other. If you can't get to it,
Well, go to both of them.
tell you what, just grab me everything we got. We'll find, we need to look through it.
Yes. Only time I got surgery. Done.
Mr. Douglas, no, there are other matters. There's an assault causing bodily injury. Class A misdemeanor. Bail set at 6,000 in that one. That's with regard to one alleged victim. And the other, excuse me, it's not 6, it's 10.
Huh?
Yeah, 10,000.
Sit down.
What is alleged is that you and a couple other fellows, or 3 other fellows,
Yeah, I was.
hooked up on some guys over on 6th Street
They started first. And I
Hold it,
came to protect.
knock it off. That has to be determined. Talk to your lawyer about it.
Knock it
But,
off. He's growing on me. I didn't know he had that in him.
bail is set at 10,000 in each. Do you ask for the court appointment of a lawyer, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Now, look, you are eligible for the court appointment of a lawyer. Tell your lawyer about what supposedly happened. Lawyer should be able to get a copy of the affidavit, a written statement.
Tell your BS
so
story
that
to your lawyer.
you And he or she, the lawyer, can discuss the matter and come up with a defense. Thank you, sir.
So I only got one bond?
No, you got two cases. Bail is set at 10,000 in each.
No, big dummy.
Facts.
You got
I
two.
can take it through and tell
But
you, tell
but
me.
thanks for reminding me. Oh no, he wants to
We're
talk
working
again.
on it.
Thank you, sir, because I got bills to pay and rent to.
I got all of it. Mr. Flores? Flores, sir, you are charged with driving while intoxicated. That one is a Class A misdemeanor. Now it's a Class A. because
Oh,
of
thank
the
you.
Level of
This stream does not
alcohol
deserve that.
concentration that they
But
claim
thank you.
you had and shown by blowing into that machine. Bail is set at 4,000. You are to be released on a personal bond in this matter. Do you ask for the court appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir.
Sorry, sir.
No, sir.
I could barely understand you. I've asked them to get rid of this thing in front of me, but
No, sir.
okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
He has a question, Judge.
Yes.
If I'm eligible for bonding, how, like, my parents or anybody?
You're gonna get an opportunity to use the
You're welcome.
telephone after this setting.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Murray.
Sir.
Mr. Murray, sir, you're charged with credit card abuse. Thank you. And bail is set at 10,000 in that state jail felony. Do you ask for the court appointment of a lawyer, sir?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ruiz, I'm looking through the stack of papers that I have from the desk to find out if indeed your paperwork may have gotten. I may have gotten mixed in with it. I'm hoping that if a case exists, I will find it. But if not, and one pops up, afraid you'll have to be brought back. But for right now, all I have,
I guess I'm the paper, sir.
sir, all I have are the paper is the stuff I've told you about. First degree felony, lawful possession of firearm by a felon. Then there is a third degree felony, possession of cocaine. I
Oh, looky
missed it
there.
Going through the first time, sir. But there it is. Bail is set at 10,000 in that. Do you ask for the court appointment of a lawyer in these cases?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
There it is, sir. Thank you very much for reminding me so that we found that. And good luck to you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I appoint you lawyer. Now get off my lawn. Is that it? Are we done? All right. We're waiting for Detroit to start. Unless someone can find me another one.
Ma'am, are you a whore? You're not a whore? Not a whore? You're not a whore?
I never want to hear it again.
You're not a whore? Not a whore? You're not a whore?
I never want to hear it again.
It gets worse.
Yeah, he was a slow talker. But he did tell defense to knock it off, which is pretty good.
Ended up being glue. Like I smoked some glue and stuff. I thought I was.
All right, I'm looking. I'm looking.
You didn't say the cat jumped on his wiener, did you? Sit down and shut up.
This is
Shut up. Shut up. Cat jumped on his wiener. Cat jumped on his wiener. Shut up. Cat jumped on his wiener. Cat jumped on his wiener. Shut up. Cat jumped on his wiener.
I don't know when they're gonna come on though.
Cat jumped on his
I have to
wiener.
find something else.
Can you just let this go for once? For once? Once?
Okay, that doing no.
Just for the lawyer, the issuing judge put on there a stay away from the named victim and that the defendant must enroll in a domestic violence education class. So that was already put on there by the issuing judge. Ms. Husky? Oh, I'm sorry. And Ms. White has no Georgia criminal history. She has one arrest from California or one conviction for bad
Right.
checks from 1980.
We've
So
got
that's
court.
what I have for Ms. White.
We're in Georgia now.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. White, please, if you don't mind, I don't want you speaking in court, okay? Ms. White has been in Georgia most of her adult life. She was born in New York, was an Army brat, so moved around a lot when she was a child, but again has been in Georgia since she's been an adult. She has one child, a son who is grown. She is married to the alleged victim in this case for about the past 12 years, but they are, in her words, estranged. She worked as an oncology nurse at the VA and was working at DeKalb Medical prior. She's been retired for about the past 5 years from her nursing work, did receive her nursing degree from Brenau University in Gainesville, Georgia. She is 66 years old. We are asking for a $25 cash bond, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Haley?
Your Honor, we're recommending a $2,000 regular bond and then do not return to that location, no contact with initials JW, and then the domestic violence class as well.
Deputies, do you have the date for the women's domestic violence class?
October the 28th, Your Honor.
October the 28th. Give me 1 second.
Anybody else?
Okay. All right. Let me just get this address down real quick.
What?
Okay, based on her lack of criminal history, so Miss White, I'm going to give you an option. You can either have a $1,000 regular bond. I don't know if you were listening to me when I explained sort of the difference with one of the other folks today, but you can either have $1,000 regular bond or a $100 cash only bond. The difference being the cash only, you have to pay in cash, in full in cash, directly to the jail. The benefit of it is that you will be able to get that money back, your $100 back. There will be some fines and fees associated with it, but you will not get the fees back, but you would get your $100 back at the end of your case. If we give you a $1,000 regular bond, the benefit to that, you're coming out of pocket pretty much the same amount of money. However, you will not get your money back if you use the regular bond, going through a bonding company. But you do have more options on how to pay. So I'll leave that up to you.
Okay. I guess I'll pay the $100.
You'll take the $100 cash only?
I just have to here.
Okay, I can't really hear you. If you could speak up a little bit.
Sign over here so that I can pay it today.
Okay, it just the cash only would have to be paid in cash directly to the jail. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I've got to get him over here.
Okay, so whoever's going to pay it, we just need to bring it in cash. Okay. There will be, and again, find out exactly what the total amount is because there will be some fees. So folks, okay, so for Miss, that's going to be $50 per warrant, cash only.
Can I ask her a question? Okay.
All right, so for Miss White, that will be, Madam Clerk, let me know. It should show up as $100 cash only. Stay away from the name victim. Defendant must attend the DV education program scheduled for October 28th, 2024, and do not return to the listed address.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, all right, that'll conclude the hearing for Miss White. All right, next I have Miss Lynetta White. Give me a second to pull the case up. All right, Miss White, you are here today, ma'am, on one warrant for family violence battery. It's my understanding you had a chance to review this warrant with your attorney. Do you understand your charges, ma'am? Okay. All right. So for Miss Lynetta White, I have I have 3 arrest cycles. I've got a 2024 family violence battery ×2. She is on active probation for that. She received 12 months probation for that. That is what I have for Miss White.
These ladies are slappy.
Miss Husky.
Your Honor, Miss White is born and raised in Georgia. Her whole family is here in Georgia. She works at Travel Pro, which is a suitcase warehouse, has been working here for about the past 5 months.
Is that
she is concerned that she may not have a job when she gets out of custody, so she is hopeful to get out of custody so that she can contact her employer. Prior to this job, she was self-employed, working for companies like Uber and Spark. She is no longer in a romantic relationship with the alleged victim in this case. She has a 1-year-old daughter with the alleged victim in this case, has 5 children in total. They all live with her. Currently, someone is staying with these children, but she does need to get back to them. Miss White is 36 years old. We are asking for $1,000 regular bond, Your Honor.
Okay. Do we know if this is the same victim from the previous case?
Your Honor, that's what I was trying to look up, but for some reason Tracker's not loading for me. So I cannot, if you give me 1 second.
Okay.
Oh, this one definitely sells burritos. Let's get it up there. A good point. You know, it's not all firing up there with this cold. I'm really leaning hard on the chat.
Your Honor, I'm not
As
sure if
usual.
this is the same victim, but we are requesting a 3,000 regular bond and then no contact with the initials FB.
Okay.
Okay, mistakes, okay, I do it now.
I don't know who's buying the burritos, but someone is apparently.
Okay. All right. Miss White does not have an extensive criminal history. However, she is on probation for the same type of charges. We don't know if it's the same victim. So I'm not gonna, won't go as high as the state has asked, but I will do a $1,500 regular bond on this case. With the stay away from the named victim and also stay away from that address on the listed location. It does not appear that these folks live together, so. Okay, so Madam Clerk, it should show stay away from the named victim and stay away from the address listed on the warrant and a $1,500 regular bond.
Exciting and new.
Oh wait, did I?
Just signature, yeah.
Okay, sorry. Okay, how about now?
One moment. Yes, Judge.
Okay, perfect. All right, so that'll conclude the hearing for Ms. White.
I'm a little better
That
than
will
yesterday.
conclude, I think that is the last woman on the calendar. So we can go back to the top of the calendar to address the men's cases. I need to take a 10-second break. I will be right back.
All right. 10 seconds. Everyone do what you got to do.
Challenging it
Okay, in what way?
in a good way.
The wheels of justice are going to roll you right into the Wayne County Jail.
I am back.
I'm back, baby.
All right. So next up, we should have, I think it's Mr. Adam Abdullah. He has to pull the case out.
A lot of Tennessee fans in Georgia.
Okay. All right. So for Mr. Abdullah, just FYI for the attorneys, the issuing judge already put on a stay away from the named victim, 1 trip to remove personal items under the supervision of a police officer, and that Mr. Abdullah attend a domestic violence education class within 5 days of release. So that has already been placed on there by the issuing judge. So let's see. So Mr. Abdullah, sir, you are here today on 1 warrant for family violence battery. It's my understanding you've had an opportunity to review the warrant with your attorney. Do you understand your charge, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. I have no criminal history for Mr. Abdullah. Ms. Husky?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Abdullah is only 23 years old. He's been in Georgia since he was about a year old, was born in Fort Worth, Texas, but grew up in Georgia. His mother and his brother are here in Georgia as well. He has been married to the alleged victim in this case for about the past 3 years. They have one daughter who is 2 years old. They share together. The daughter is currently at his grandmother's house. He is a graduate of Parkview High School, plans to go to college because he wants to study computer science at Georgia State. So is hoping to further his education. He impressively runs his own business. He's been doing this for about the past 8 years. So this is even more impressive given his young age. He makes merchandising for different companies. He also works as an Uber driver in order to get additional funds to support his family. We have not been able to contact the alleged victim in this case, given that Mr. Abdullah does not know her number by heart. However, since they do share a child together, we are asking for no violent contact, and we are asking for a $1,000 regular bond, Your Honor.
Your Honor, in addition to what the issuing judge already put in place, we're requesting a $3,000 regular bond. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Abdullah does not have a criminal history. However, the allegations in this particular case are concerning. It's like the victim is stating he attempted to strangle her and there were marks on her neck. That is serious. Yeah, I'm going to leave all the special conditions that were previously stated. Stay away from the named victim. He can have one trip to remove personal items under the supervision of a police officer. He will have to attend a domestic violence class, and he needs to enroll in that class within 5 days of his release from jail. Also, I did add on there the stay away. He cannot return to that address, so he is not going to be able to, again, return to that address. And I am going to go with the $3,000 regular bond in this case. Let's see.
Okay, that sounds crazy. I'd be willing to try it. Now, someone tell me how I
Okay.
say.
Again, Madam Clerk, it should show as $3,000
Big Vapor Rub in
bond,
Polish.
stay away from the victim, one trip, domestic violence class, and stay away from the address.
One moment, Judge. Jill, could you check to make sure that the domestic violence is printing out? I can't see it on my side, but sometimes that happens. One moment.
I did manage to get shots of ginger with, I think, cayenne pepper in it. And that helped a ton. And I'm not kidding. Uh-oh. There she is. Don't tell her we played it earlier. Don't tell her.
Madam Clerk, it's Shay.
Thank you.
All right. All right, that'll conclude the hearing for Mr. Abdullah. That will bring us next to Mr. Cornelius Allen. Just give me a moment to pull that case up.
I'm willing to try.
0.825. Okay. Just FYI for the attorneys, the issuing judge has already stated put on a stay away for, it looks like, at least 2 victims, alleged victims. Let's see, Mr. Allen, you are here today, sir, on 2 warrants. One is for simple battery harm, and the other is for family violence battery. It's my understanding you had a chance to review your warrants with your attorney. Do you understand your charges, sir? Okay. All right. So for Mr. Allen, I have 9 arrest cycles: 2014, false name; 2016, sexual battery ×2, 2016 family violence battery, and a pending October of 2022 DUI. So that is what I have for Mr. Allen. Ms. Husky.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Allen has completed some work towards his associate degree from Ohio University, where he was studying business management and technology. Prior to that, he received his GED. He currently works as a process technician for MIBCO and has been doing this work for the past year. Before that, he was working at Amazon. He was a lead in the pressure washing department. He is born and raised in Georgia. The majority of his family is here. His relation to one of the alleged victims in this case is his ex-wife. He does not stay with her. He currently lives at his family home where he stays with his. They need somebody.
This looks more promising. Judge Garwood is awesome.
Is there a sheriff in there? Oh, there we go.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Morning.
A smidge of housekeeping. I'm told Jeremy Shue doesn't want to see us.
Well, I haven't asked him about court. He did not want to see his attorney. So.
Okay. And then Frank Green.
Oh, we may have a
same.
Jeremy Shue
Same
signing.
thing, yep.
Okay. And then for this individual, I don't have any paperwork yet.
Okay. We will put pass on her. And I will go get the next person for you.
Great. Thank you so much.
I'm not going to court today. This is just Quinn's. That's the only other switch we have.
Thank you, Ms. Reiser.
You're welcome.
I still have this phone because I gotta. It's a misdemeanor.
Oh, I want Shue to show up without an attorney.
I'm trying to.
This
Good morning. I do your paperwork for Justin Recker.
turn fantastic.
And you raise
very
your right
easily.
hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the information contained in your complaint is true to the best of your knowledge, information, and belief? Thank you. Just checking to make sure I have all the paperwork. We will see him.
Judge by your name.
Okay.
Oh, this thing? Yep, that was all right.
Oh, I see. I'll correct that. Where it says officer in charge, yeah. No, no big deal. Yeah, that's not a letter that usually goes in.
Strong start.
Okay, I will correct that. That's not a
Neck
problem.
tattoo. Turtle suit.
And then was there a bun?
And potential
Perfect.
Shue sighting.
Thank you.
Things are picking up.
Okay, bye. You too. Yes. You better knock on some wood. Thank you. Talk to you later. Okay, bye.
Turtle power.
That's done, and then I'm gonna get at the jail. What is your last name?
Oh, record.
Okay, we'll be with you in just a minute. Do you have that in the system already? Yes. 419. Hi, it's Magistrate Garwood calling. Can I put you on speakerphone and we can do your swear too? Okay, just 1 second. We are recording and we're on YouTube, okay? Thank you. Just 1 second. Yes, we just got your signature. Yep. 1 sec. Deputy, can you hear me? Yeah. One sec. Let me get you where I need you. Who's seated the record? And then this. The one's old though. Okay. All right, Deputy, this is WCSD 24-78404, the people of the state of Michigan versus Aaron Montrese McCollum. Your name for the record, please. Deputy Early. Thank you. Deputy, could you raise your right hand to be sworn, please? My right hand is. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you will give today and the information contained in your complaint will be true to the best of your knowledge, information, and belief? Yes, ma'am. Thank you. You're welcome to proceed whenever you're ready, sir. All right, so today I'll be talking on behalf of Deputy Wheel. On October 11, 2024, he was dispatched to 6116 Lake Drive in Ypsilanti Township, lot number 347 for domestic assault. When he arrived, he spoke with his mother, Teresa Stewart. She was the mother of Aaron McCollum. While Teresa was in the kitchen of the home, Aaron approached her and pushed his body against her back. Teresa then told Aaron to not walk up on her like that. Aaron then threatened to hit Teresa on the side of her head. Aaron then continued to follow Teresa around the home, pushing against Teresa. Teresa tried calling 911, and Aaron took the phone from her hands and threw it on the ground. Aaron then swore at Teresa and called her name, and then left the home on foot. He later found later in the evening and was taken into custody. Thank you. Just 1 second.
Yes. And a large Frosty, please.
Just 1 second. This is different.
Yeah, but that's the other case.
Oh, that he's tested. Okay, got it. All right, thank you. Is this your signature on the complaint? Yes. Thank you. And EARLEY. Thank you. Yeah. No worries. Based on the testimony presented to the court in my reading of the complaint, the court does find probable cause to issue a warrant regarding Aaron Montrese McCollum on count 1, interfering with electronic communications, count 2, assault and battery. I have signed that warrant. All right, give me just 1 second and then we'll take care of the other one. Sounds good. Do you need that? This one. Okay. And then looks like you also have one out of Ypsi Township, is that correct? Yep. This is for case number 24-78500. Correct, thank you. You've called the case for me. This is, no worries. This is the people of Ypsilanti Township versus Ovion Shavante Noggles. Your name for the record? Deputy Early. Thank you. You remain under oath. You're welcome to proceed whenever you're ready. I will be speaking on behalf of Deputy Shinklin and Deputy Singer. On October 12, 2024, they were dispatched to Road Patrol in Ypsilanti Township near Wire Court in Concord as for domestic. Caller stated that there was hearing screams from a car. They spoke with the witness, and he said that he saw a gray car. You can hear yelling from inside, so we decided to follow it. When deputies arrived on scene, they spoke with Obrana. She was extremely uncooperative. She said that she was having an argument. And they then spoke with, pulling up his name, Casimir Brooks. Casimir stated that him and Obrana was having an argument within the car about him asking other females for money.
This made Casimir's girlfriend angry, and she started to punch Casimir on the side of his head and spitting on him. He then showed his injuries to deputies and they dried blood on his ear. And this is when deputies then took Obama into custody.
Anything further?
That would be it.
All right, and they have had a dating relationship or reside together?
Yes, they've been dating for approximately 1 year.
Thank you. Based upon the testimony presented to the court in my reading of the complaint, the court does find probable cause to issue a warrant regarding Ovion Shavante Noggles on the single charge domestic assault and battery. I have signed the warrant. Becky, me back. Anything else we can help you with today?
I believe everything is anything else in someone.
Shannon, anything else?
No.
Nope.
Do you need?
No. All right, we are all set. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that means we have. The only one you don't have, I say that.
Okay, for the bond form, for the PBT form, do you want to just scan in one that we had, or can we just sort of?
I think I should email it. I can pull it offline or off our documents and just email it because everything else will get printed. And so it's but it's not going to happen anytime. But I think I can do it. I can do it. It is.
Right, I just have to get that condition. Yep.
And yeah.
There are 7 people ahead of you.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Rapper, can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Magistrate Garwood, I'm going to handle your case today. Before we get too far into your case, a little bit of housekeeping. We're doing this by Zoom. If something happens that you can't hear or see me or your counsel, let us know right away. Otherwise, I assume our connection's working just fine. Additionally, the courthouse is closed to the public because it's a weekend. So we are broadcasting all of our cases live on our YouTube channel. The last thing, and this is sort of weird, the way our camera system works, the camera is kind of placed in an odd location. So it looks like I'm not looking at you. I can look at the camera, but then I can't actually see you. So I prefer to look at the monitor where I can see you, but I am just taking care of your case and I am talking to you and the 2 counsel involved, okay? All right, you're gonna need to be a little bit louder.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, so this is case number AAPD 24-48 535. For the record, I would note there is a typo on the spelling of the detective's name, and I will correct that. Where it says officer in charge, her first name is spelled wrong, so I will correct that. Sir, tell me your full and complete name for the record.
Justin Tyler Rucker.
Thank you. And Mr. Becker, I'm going to advise you of your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, the court will refer you to the local appointing authority for them to make investigation as to representation. You also have the right to a trial. Do you understand your rights as I've explained them to you?
Yes.
Thank you. And you've had a chance already today to speak with Ms. Akiri Akinwuli, is that correct? From the Public Defender's Office?
Briefly, yes.
Okay, very good. You'll have more time to do that as your case proceeds. I'm going to have counsel place their appearances on the record. We will start with the people.
Trisha Reiser on behalf of the people. And Assistant Public Defender Chinazi Akiri Akinwuli on behalf of Mr. Justin Recker.
Thank you.
That is one of the
Ms.
best things
Akiri
about-
Akinwuli, would you like me to read the complaint in this matter? Or do you waive formal reading?
Your Honor, we waive formal
love it.
reading. Mr. Recker stands mute. Ask the court to enter a not guilty plea on his behalf.
Thank you. Mr. Becker, I'm not going to go through the details of the complaint with you because you've had a chance. I appreciate it was brief, but you've had a chance to review that information with counsel. You'll have more time to do so as your case proceeds. Counsel's indicated you're going to stand mute, so that means you'll remain silent as to the charge. I will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. I'm going to schedule you for your next court date. That is going to be a pretrial. That will be October 30th at 9 a.m. with Judge Harry here at the 15th District Court, downtown Ann Arbor. She will allow you to appear in person or remotely. That is your choice. You don't have to tell me now. We will send you a notice to appear. You will also receive additional information from the Public Defender's Office. Do you understand?
I have one question regarding remote. How would that work?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question. Ask it one more time.
Regarding attending in person or remotely, my question, how would the remote work? If that
It would be just like today. We use Zoom. And so if you have Zoom on a phone, a tablet, or a computer, you can do that.
Preferably, I would like to come in person, but yeah. If
Your choice, and you don't have to tell me now. If you don't have Zoom on a device, the Public Defender has an information sheet they can share with you, so you can load that onto whatever device you might have, okay? You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, then we will proceed with bond arguments. There are two parts to bond conditions. Those are things the court tells you you can and cannot do. If you violate a bond condition, you're subject to immediate arrest. The other side of bond is whether you could be released today on your own personal recognizance or whether you'd have to post a bond in order to be released. Before I make any decisions regarding bond or bond conditions, I will hear from Ms. Reiser on behalf of the people, and then I will hear from your counsel as well. I'll go through all of your bond conditions, and you'll get a copy of them when we're done. Counsel?
Thank you, Your Honor. We are asking for a cash surety bond of $25,000. We're also asking for a tether with the zone being Pheasant Run Circle. I believe that both the defendant and the victim were living there, although both their addresses come back still to Arizona. I believe they moved here recently from Arizona. I'm asking for no contact with the victim, Tasha Parek. In this case, the defendant is charged, of course, with domestic violence against her, in addition to pushing her into a wall and possibly bruising her. He attempted to keep her phone away from her. She retreated to a back bedroom. He went to the kitchen, retrieved a knife, and followed her there, and then threatened to kill himself, which apparently he has done in the past. This is highly manipulative, batterer type behavior. He has also been charged with domestic violence in the past out of state. It appears that that was reduced.
The battery was
I can't be absolutely certain, but it appears that it was
definitely
reduced to a
better behavior.
disorderly person. I am concerned about this person's safety. I'm especially given the fact that it does appear that she's recently moved here. I don't know what kind of support system she has. So I am asking for those prior stated bond conditions. I'm also asking for all standard DV bond conditions, including no assaultive behavior, stalking behavior, no firearms or weapons. In this case, I would also specifically request no leaving the state of Michigan, given the contact to Arizona. And as I indicated, if the defendant does post bond, I would be asking for a tether. I'm also asking, apparently I forgot to put this on the bond form, but alcohol was a factor. There were allegations that the defendant has a problem with alcohol. I would ask for some kind of alcohol testing as a bond condition. Thank you.
Thank you. Counsel?
Your Honor, we are asking for a personal recognizance bond. I did have an opportunity to speak with Mr. Recker. He indicates that he completely understands the no contact order that will be in place. I asked him if he has anywhere else to go. He says that he does have a little bit of money saved up to where he'll be able to get somewhere to go until he finds something more stable. I repeated it and I repeated it, and he confirmed that he understands that. I don't think that he would be opposed to any testing that as required by the court. However, he's asking that he be released today, Your Honor.
Thank you. Just one moment. All right, I'm going to set the following bond conditions. These are not in the order of importance, just the order listed on the form I'm going to read from. You'll get a copy of all your bond conditions when we are done today. It's important that you understand your bond conditions and stay in compliance with them. Failure to comply will result in the warrant for your arrest. You will be required to have standard supervision with our Community Corrections Department that will include drug and alcohol testing. Upon your release, you will have to get to Community Corrections to begin that testing. You have to bring photo ID and $12 each time you need to test. Do you have photo ID?
Not on me, ma'am, no.
Okay, you can ask for a copy of your booking photos when you are released from jail. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
No alcohol, no illegal drugs, and no marijuana. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
That's standard supervision. That's going to be once per week. All right, you are not to use, purchase, or possess any alcohol, illegal drugs, or marijuana. Do you have a medical marijuana card?
No, ma'am.
Okay. You are not to leave the state without prior permission of the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You are not to purchase or possess any firearms, ammunition, or dangerous weapons, or any gun components, nor are you to be with anyone who has any of those items. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You are not to assault, terrorize, frighten, intimidate, threaten, harass, molest, or stalk anyone. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You are to have no contact with Tasha Brack. When I say no contact, no direct or indirect contact with that individual, in person or through others. No telephone, email, texting, internet, or social media. Do not send anything to that person. Do not have anything delivered to that person. Do not direct anyone else to be in touch with that individual on your behalf. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You're not to go to the address on Pheasant Run Circle. If this is your home address, you must find another place to live and notify the court within 24 hours of your release of your new address. The phone number will be on your paperwork. You are not to go to any home, work, temporary residence, school, or house of worship of Tasha. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You're not to violate any criminal law. Do you understand?
Can you repeat that?
You are not to violate any criminal law. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You're required to appear for any and all court hearings and other places as directed by the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All of your conditions, they exist whether you're in custody or out of custody. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You will have to have a GPS tether placed prior to your release from custody. They are closed on weekends and holidays. So in the event that you're able to post your cash bond, you have to wait until our community corrections department reopens to have that tether placed. It will be tied to the Pheasant Run Circle, so you will not be able to return to that address.
That
Do you
actually sounds
understand?
good.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to set a cash bond in this case based upon the presentation by counsel. When somebody is being attacked, they have a couple different options of what to do. They can retreat, but if they're stuck in the location where they are, they're left without that remedy. They can call for help. If someone takes that remedy away from them, the circumstance gets worse. And that's what we see here today, an aggravated circumstance where this person was trying to call for help and couldn't because it's alleged that you took their phone. And that's always of concern to the court. And then we add in this dynamic of what appears to be manipulation of self-harm when someone doesn't comply with what we would like them to do. And that's a pretty classic behavior on the power and control circle. And so that's of concern to the court as well. So I'm going to set a cash bond in this matter. It's going to be $20,000 cash or surety, no 10% privilege. And if you're able to post that bond, then the tether will have to be placed. We've given you the next available court date that we have with your judge. All of this information is going to be contained in the paperwork that we will send to you. Do you have any questions for me?
Am I released today or no?
No, there are a couple things that are keeping you in custody. You have to post a $20,000 bond before you can be released. And a GPS tether will have to be placed on you to monitor you and to ensure that you're not going back to the address in question. We're going to put you into a breakout room with your counsel for just a minute, because I want her to go back over all of these conditions to make sure that you understand them before I release you from where you are. Because I just told you what the conditions were, and you're asking me, I just told you what the bond was, and you're asking if you're going to be released, and that's of a little bit concerned to me. So I'm going to have you talk to counsel before I let you leave where you are, just to make sure that you understand everything that we've done. Can you put them into a breakout room? Thank you, counsel.
Oh man, I gotta get together.
Okay, the facts are a little different, but we did just see a bunch of women getting out for DVs for $100 or less. This guy's staring at $20,000. I don't really have a problem with that. I'm just saying it's different. Yeah, okay. So, do I have any Polish nurses that can come over here and mix up that concoction for me in Warsaw? I don't think I've got that kind of reach.
Okay.
You don't even have to be naughty. I really just want to get better.
Mostly.
And I don't know how to pronounce all that stuff.
Missing some for the polling sheets. But if you don't have one in the cover.
Yeah. I didn't see one here.
Or Ricker.
So I didn't,
Rogers. Was that Roger? No, that wasn't Roger.
or Rogers, and so I didn't update their contact information. I assume you have that. But if you need me to ask counsel for it, I will.
That is one that I did not get.
No. This is not what we're looking for.
Get this.
That's not what we want.
Okay.
I'll just deal with the cold.
Did Sue and Green refuse yesterday too?
Yes, she refused with 14B.
And Green has 2 files.
Green is 2.
Okay.
Come on, Jeremy Shu. Where is he? Ah. No. No. Detroit's still not on. How's he paying for these hotels? Is he a rug dealer? Oh no. I want to hear about the amazing job opportunity. Was he going to sell some Herbalife? Or Amway? You can't hear her? Can you hear this one? Oh man. Can you hear anything now? They're not making any noise right now, though. You can't hear it now? We're going to try this again. We're going to try it this way.
Stand your rights.
Yes.
Thank you. We will proceed on this case with appearances by counsel. We will start with the people.
Good morning again, Your Honor. Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
And Assistant Public Defender Chinazi Kiriakin on behalf of Mr. Narcoleptic Ellis.
Thank you. I've signed the paperwork for the referral to the local appointing authority. They will be in touch with you, and Ms. Akinruli will assist you today. Counsel, would you like me to read the complaint in this matter, or do you waive formal reading?
Your Honor, we do waive formal reading of the complaint. We stand mute, asking the court to enter a not guilty plea on his behalf.
Thank you. So that means I'm not going to go through the details of the complaint with you because you've had a chance to review that information with counsel. You'll have more time to do so as your case proceeds. In this matter, we will schedule you for your next court date. That's going to be a probable cause conference. That will be in front of Judge Simpson on October 24th at 9 a.m. or as soon thereafter as your case can be called. That will be live and in person at the 14A1 District Court. We will send you a notice to appear. You will receive additional information from the Public Defender's Office. Do you understand?
Yes.
Thank you. The next thing we'll need to address in this matter is bond. There are two parts to bond. Bond conditions, those are things the court tells you you can and cannot do. If you violate a bond condition, you are subject to immediate arrest. The other side of bond is whether you can be released today on your own or whether you'd have to post a bond in order to be released. Before I make any decisions regarding bond or bond conditions, I will hear from counsel. We will start with the people.
Thank you, Your Honor. We are asking for a cash surety bond here of $25,000. We're asking for all standard DV bond conditions, including no contact with the victim, no go-to, the address on Eaton Drive. We were asking for a GPS tether for that address if the defendant posts bond. That is the victim's home and also the scene of the crime. We're asking for drug and alcohol testing. Additionally, the court should know that this was a situation where a firearm was actually used. So we do have, and when I say used, I mean it was used during the course of the crime. It was not fired. The defendant racked the firearm, putting a round in the chamber. He threatened to shoot individuals and referenced putting holes in an individual. I believe there are severe concerns for the safety of the people involved here, as well as the community. I am asking for the bond conditions as I've laid out. Thank you.
Thank you. Counsel.
And Your Honor, I've had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Ellis. Mr. Ellis was employed at McDonald's in New Hudson. He's a 23-year-old man. He was transferred here based on an outstanding warrant, from my understanding. I think he was in custody in Wayne County, and then he was released in Wayne County with a personal recognizance bond and then transferred to Washtenaw to resolve this outstanding issue. We're asking for a PR bond. He understands that there will be no contact with the complaining witness in this matter. I do think if I asked him if he knew. I didn't have the charging documents at the time, but we were able to work through what this charge may entail. And if I'm not mistaken, the complaining witness is his brother. I think the people can correct me if I'm wrong about that. So he understands the significance of no contact, but I did want the court to know that it is a family member. I don't think that we spoke about him not being able to go to the residence if that is where he lives. But Your Honor, he's got the PR bond in Wayne County. We're asking that the court give him a PR bond here. I think that a tether
the wheels
would be
of justice
sufficient.
are going to.
I did not see any criminal history other than the new charge that's in Wayne County. That one is for a CCW for the sake of transparency as well.
I think maybe I misheard. So you said he's working at McDonald's.
That is correct.
Where? In what city?
In New Hudson, Michigan.
Yeah, he's loving it.
Okay.
I don't know where New Hudson is. I've never heard of that.
And how long has he worked there?
Marquise?
Since about August 28th.
And there are two different people identified in the complaint. So what is your relationship to Joseph Brown?
That's my mom's husband.
Okay, and Jonathan Ellis?
My older brother.
Okay, and how old is Jonathan Ellis?
I believe he's 30.
Okay, and so Joseph Brown is your
Stepfather.
stepfather. And does your mother also live in this house?
Yes.
And how old are you?
23.
How many hours a week do you work?
How many hours a week?
Yeah.
About 40 or more.
And how long have you been, so you've been moving from place to place as far as, it sounds like your court cases are concerned. How long have you been in custody?
Since about Tuesday.
Okay, thank you. Give me just 1 second.
Now. But will he live to see 24?
All right, I'm going to set bond conditions for you. And it's important that you understand your bond conditions, because if you violate any of your bond conditions, you're subject to immediate arrest. In light of the circumstances, I am going to have you not go back to that Eaton Drive address. You're going to have to find somewhere else to live.
That's fine. I wasn't there right now anyway, so.
Okay, but that's the address that you listed with your attorney.
It's not a problem, Judge.
I haven't been there.
McDonald's cash in his pocket.
So do you have somewhere else you can stay?
Yes.
The Hamburglar.
So if you haven't, I'm not going to ask the question. I'll let your counsel figure that out. I think everyone knows the question I'm thinking. Okay, so you're not going back to the address. You're going to have a GPS tether to ensure that you don't go back to that address. You are to have no contact with Jonathan Ellis or Joseph Brown. I appreciate their family members. That doesn't concern the court. The court's concern is safety of everyone involved. So no contact with either of those individuals in person or through others. No telephone, email, texting, internet, social media, Skype, Zoom, FaceTime, Facebook, Slack, Discord, Insta, Snap. No contact means no contact. And you can't use other people to be in touch with them on your behalf. Do you understand that?
Yes.
I don't want you going to the home, any place of employment, any place of education, any temporary residence, or any house of worship of Jonathan or Joseph. Do you understand?
Yes.
You're not to commit any crimes while your case is pending. Do you understand?
Yes.
You're not allowed to leave the state of Michigan without prior permission of the court. Do you understand?
Yes.
You're not to use, purchase, or possess any alcohol, illegal drugs, or marijuana, nor are you to be with anyone who has any of those items. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you have a medical marijuana card?
I don't.
Okay. You are not to purchase or possess any firearms, ammunition, dangerous weapons, or any gun components, nor are you to be with anyone who has any of those items. Do you understand?
Yes.
No assaultive behavior towards anyone. So do not assault, harass, intimidate, beat, molest, wound, or threaten anyone. Do you understand?
Yes.
In general,
All of your conditions, they will exist whether you're in custody or out of custody. They remain in full force and effect until changed by the court. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Ms. Reiser, do you have information? Was the weapon that was alleged to have been involved, was that confiscated?
Let me check on that.
Mr. Ellis, while she's checking, do you have any other guns, firearms, any dangerous weapons?
No.
Not that I'm going to tell you about.
Are you aware of whether that firearm was confiscated?
Yes. Yes.
It looks, I mean, I can't find where it specifically says that. It says suspected to be a Glock 9mm pistol. Chucka Marquise and Lean revealed he had a Taurus G3 9mm 16 shot registered to him. Does not have a concealed pistol license. I'm concerned that it sounds like there might be another weapon regardless. Yeah, regardless of whether or not this one was seized. I'm also concerned that his charge in Wayne County, pursuant to what his counsel said, is a CCW. which is of course also a weapons related charge. And I am, under all these circumstances, just very concerned about community safety. I can't verify whether or not the gun was seized. I would assume it was, but I don't want to assume that. And like I said, it sounds like he has another weapon.
Yeah, I'm still gonna do a cash bond. I was just trying to figure out the gun issue first. So, Mr. Ellis, what's the story with the other weapon? Where's that weapon?
I don't have another weapon. That's the only weapon I have registered to me.
Well, the weapon that's registered to you is different than the weapon that was allegedly used in this event.
Yeah, no. Wasn't no weapon actually used in this event, so I'm just like.
No, you're misunderstanding my question. Just because there's a weapon involved and I don't know where it's located, we're gonna go off of YouTube for just a minute.
Oh, good Lord, what is going on here? Is this gun for you guys too? I literally got the knock on the door for housekeeping. I'm doing that, and then this happens. All right.
He had a Taurus G3 9mm 16 shot registered.
Are you kidding me? Is that over? She said she was going off YouTube for a moment. They're not going to let me see the Jeremy Shoe appearance. Rude. Rude and uncalled for. Let me see what I can find here.
We are here today for misdemeanor first appearance hearing for Mr. Pedro Latorre. Before we get started with that, I just need to swear you in. I know I can't see you, but if you could please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that that you will translate from English to Spanish and Spanish to English to the best of your ability?
I swear.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right, so could you let Mr. Again, this is Pedro Latorre. If you could let him know that he is here for his first appearance hearing.
Señor Pedro de la Torre, yo voy a ser el intérprete que lo va a ayudar en el proceso el día de hoy. Esta es su primera comparecencia de audiencia.
This is not the trial of your case. I'm not here to determine whether or not you are guilty or not guilty.
Are you kidding me?
Ese no es el juicio de su caso. No estoy aquí para determinar si es culpable o no culpable.
This is an informational hearing where I'm going to advise you of your rights, I'm going to inform you of your rights, and I'm going to make sure that you understand the charges you are facing.
Estoy aquí para informarle acerca de sus derechos, para que los entienda y hacerle saber cuáles son los cargos que está enfrentando.
And I'm also going to consider bond in your case.
Y también para considerar fianza en su caso.
All right. As a criminal defendant, you have the presumption of innocence unless and until the state proves you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
Usted como acusado tiene el derecho de presunción de inocencia hasta que el Estado compruebe lo contrario sin ninguna duda.
You have the right to a jury or bench trial in your case.
Tienes derecho de tener un juicio conjurado o para su caso.
You have the right to challenge the state's case and to cross-examine their witnesses.
Tienes derecho de afrontarlo el caso del Estado y debatir los testigos que le presenta el Estado.
You also have the right to call in your own witnesses at trial and to introduce your own evidence.
Tiene derecho de poner sus propios testigos en juicio e introducir su evidencia propia.
And you also have the right to use the subpoena power of the court to compel witnesses and evidence into court.
También tiene el derecho de utilizar el poder del tribunal para hacer citaciones, para presentar evidencia y llamar testigos.
You have the right to testify at trial under oath, but please understand that this testimony could be used against you.
Usted también tiene el derecho de testificar bajo juramento, pero tenga en consideración que este testimonio puede ser utilizado en su contra.
You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and if you cannot afford one will be appointed to represent you free of charge.
Tiene el derecho de ser representado por un abogado, puede contratar su propio y si no lo puede contratar, tiene derecho a que el tribunal asigne uno.
You are facing misdemeanor charges.
Tiene varios delitos menores.
The maximum possible punishment for a misdemeanor is 12 months in jail and $1,000 fine.
Sorry, Anna, was that 4 months in jail?
If you are convicted at trial, you have the right to appeal that conviction. I'm sorry?
I want you to
Sorry,
answer
Anna, I
it.
missed the maximum penalty and the...
And chew.
Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't. I thought you would. Okay. The maximum possible punishment for a misdemeanor is 12 months in jail and $1,000 fine.
Thank you for the repetition, Your Honor. Señora, la pena máxima de su caso sería 12 meses en prisión o hasta $1,000 en multa.
If you are convicted at trial, you have the right to appeal that conviction.
Si usted es condenado en el juicio, tiene el derecho de apelar esa decisión.
And now we will go to the topic of bond in his case.
Ahora vamos a hablar acerca de la fianza en referente a este caso.
To determine bond in your case, I will hear from the state's attorney and from your attorney.
Para determinar la fianza para este caso, voy a escuchar peticiones del abogado del Estado y de su propio abogado.
I'll be looking at the specific charges and circumstances surrounding your arrest.
De los cargos y circunstancias que ocurrieron alrededor de su caso.
Your criminal arrest and conviction history or lack thereof.
Su historial criminoso de arresto o su historial de declaraciones.
And also I'll be considering any potential risk factors that may exist in terms of granting bond today.
También consideraremos posibles factores de riesgo para otorgarle la fianza el día de hoy.
Your financial situation will also be taken into consideration.
Su situación financiera también va a ser considerada para esta decisión.
All right. So also, sir, you are here today on citations.
Okay, usted está aquí el día de hoy por una citación.
Which means that even if you are unable to make the bond that I will set for you today,
Eso quiere decir que inclusive si no pudiera pagar la fianza que vaya a fijar el día de hoy,
once you have been in the jail for 48 hours,
una vez que pase 48 horas,
Come off when we're done. Are you okay?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm sorry.
Okay, you're falling asleep. I just want to make sure you're paying attention to what's happening.
No, I am. I'm sorry. I'm just very, I work midnights and I haven't gotten much sleep lately, so.
Okay, gotta keep you awake. And every time I see your head go down, I'm gonna say your name again to make sure that you're awake, okay?
Okay, I'm awake. I promise. Thank you.
Otherwise, we can wait until tomorrow when you're better rested and take care of both your cases at once.
No, it's okay.
Okay. So this is case AAPD 24-32172. Tell me your full name for the record.
It's Donald Howard Grandall, second.
Maybe not.
Thank you. And it now has a case number 24F5-5644FY. Did you have a chance to meet with Ms. Akiriakaruli?
No.
You didn't meet with the public defender?
No, not yet.
Donald, you don't remember speaking with me? I didn't have my camera on, but we had spoken about your charges and where you're working and.
Oh, earlier? Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I couldn't put a face to the. Yeah.
That's okay. I didn't have my camera
Yes.
on earlier.
Yes.
Okay, so you remember speaking with the public defender?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. She will assist you today in your case. I'm going to advise you of your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand?
I do.
You have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, you're referred to the local appointing authority. Ms. Akiriakaruli will represent you today, and then I'm going to sign that paperwork. So the public defender's office, their local appointing authority, will be in touch with you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
You have the right to a probable cause conference within 14 days and a preliminary examination within 21 days. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You also have the right to a trial. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
All right. I am going to hear from counsel. We will start with the people. And counsel, I may have to interrupt you just to make sure. Mr. Brando?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I need you to keep your eyes open and you have to stay awake.
Okay, I'm here.
Ms. Reiser.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Thank you.
And Assistant Public Defender Chinazi Akiriakaruli on behalf of Mr. Donald Howard Grandall II.
Thank you. Ms. Akiriakaruli, would you like me to read the complaint in this matter, or do you waive formal reading?
Your Honor, we'd ask that you read the complaint, please.
The complaint in this matter alleges that on or about July 16th of 2024, that Mr. Grandall was at 3255 Washtenaw Ave. The single charge alleges, sir, that you did make an assault upon Chaim Clark with a dangerous weapon, that being a knife, but without intending to commit the crime of murder or to inflict great bodily harm less than the crime of murder. That is a felony with a maximum penalty 4 years in prison and or $2,000. Sir, do you understand what you've been charged with, and do you understand the maximum penalty?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm going to have you stay mute. I'll enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. I'm going to set you for your next court date. That's going to be a probable cause conference. That will be at 9 a.m. or as soon thereafter as your case can be called on October 24th of 2024. That will be in front of Judge Simpson at the 14A1 District Court. That's live and in person. We will send you a notice to appear. You will receive additional information from the public defender's office. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Thank you. The next thing we'll address will be bond. There are two parts to bond. Bond conditions. Those are things the court tells you you can and cannot do. If you violate a bond condition, you are subject to immediate arrest. The other side of bond is whether you can be released today on your own, or whether you'd have to post a bond in order to be released. Before I make any decisions regarding bond or bond conditions, I will hear from counsel. Ms. Reiser?
Thank you, Your Honor. On this case, we are asking for a $50,000 cash surety bond. There are a number of concerns with regards to this defendant.
Just talk for a long time.
He apparently, when this case was charged, the charging APA noted the warrant request And she was brought to her attention because the same defendant had just been released from jail after pleading to a domestic violence and a B&E on another victim, and that he had gone back to her place and assaulted her again. In review of that new warrant, the charging APA on this case realized he also had this warrant request for an FA where he threatened the stranger with a knife, told him he was going to kill him. So obviously there are grave concerns for community safety. So we are asking for the $50,000 cash surety bond, in addition to all standard bond conditions, including no firearms or weapons of any kind. Also, no contact with this person listed as a victim here. I will say also that the court had alluded to another case being investigated. That is accurate, and I expect that that case may be charged tomorrow. That's Pittsfield Township case, and that is the same victim, the same DV victim as I mentioned previously. So there's just a lot of concerns here, and I will say in that new case that hasn't been charged yet that there were injuries. So again, I'm just very concerned about community safety, and that is the reason for the request for the high bond in this particular case. Thank you.
Thank you. Counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. I did have an opportunity to speak with Mr. Grandal. Mr. Grandal reports that I don't think he would have an issue with the no go to because he lives at a different address than the complaining witness in this matter. He's currently employed. He works as an injection mold technician. He has been working there for quite some time now. He's actually scheduled to work on Sunday evening. I do understand that there's still pending charges that would be forthcoming. So we would just be asking for a reasonable bond to be set.
I'm going to set the following bond conditions for you. These are not in the order of importance, just the order listed in the form I'm going to read from. You'll get a copy of your conditions when we are done. You are not to use, purchase, or possess any alcohol, illegal drugs, or marijuana. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a medical marijuana card?
No.
I'm going to set you for intermediate testing with our community corrections. You're going to be testing a couple times a week to ensure that you're staying in compliance with my order.
Okay.
Each time you go for testing, you'll have to bring photo ID and $12. Failure to comply will result in a warrant for your arrest. You are not allowed to leave the state of Michigan without prior permission of the court. You're not to purchase or possess any firearms, ammunition, or dangerous weapons, or any gun components, nor you'd be with anyone who has any of those items. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You are not to assault, terrorize, frighten, intimidate, threaten, harass, molest, or stalk anyone. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You're to have no contact with Chaim Clark. When I say no contact, no direct or indirect contact with that individual in person or through others, no telephone, email, texting, internet, or social media. Don't direct anyone else to be in touch with him on your behalf. Do you understand?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
You are not to go to the home, any place of employment, any place of education, any temporary residence, or any house of worship of Mr. Clark, whether he's present or not. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Additionally, you are not to go to 3255 Washington Ave in the city of Ann Arbor. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You're not to violate any criminal law. You're required to appear for any and all court hearings and other places as directed by the court. All of your conditions, they will exist whether you're in custody or out of custody, and they remain in full force and effect until changed by the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions regarding your conditions?
No, I do not.
I'm going to set a cash bond in this matter, and you again will continue to be held until tomorrow when we see what happens with those other charges. Depending on what happens with those other charges, the court may reevaluate bond in this case. But for now, I'm going to set a cash bond, $50,000 cash or surety, no 10% privilege, with all of the other conditions. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for me?
Nope.
Ms. Akiri-Akinruli, anything further?
Judge, you said that was 50?
50.
50. Yep, nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
Ms. Reiser? Oh, she turned off her camera.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, so you can stand up and go to the door, and then we will see what happens tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
My God, that guy was 80% asleep.
What did he just do?
Went the wrong way.
Okay.
He was more responsive than 90% of the defendants. He actually answered all the questions.
What is your name?
Ashton Grisham Gregory.
Say it one more time.
Ashton Grisham Gregory.
Oh.
Ashton Kirschenberger.
I'll be within just a sec.
Yes, ma'am.
You said it clears a bell, Judge. I don't know what's wrong with her.
All right, Mr. Gregory, can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Magistrate Garwood. I'm going to handle your case today. Good morning. Before we get too far into your case, a little bit of housekeeping. We're doing this by Zoom. If something happens that you can't hear or see me, let me know right away. Otherwise, I assume our connection's working just fine, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And the courthouse is closed to the public today because it's a weekend. The public has the right to hear and see what's happening here in the courtroom. So our cases are being broadcast live on our YouTube channel. When we're done here today, everything will come off of our YouTube channel. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Then we will proceed. This is case 24F2-1028FY. Is your full name Ashton Jamere Grisham Gregory?
Jamere, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you spell that? The middle name, is it Jamere?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right. And you've had a chance to speak with Ms. Akiriak and Ruli today. Is that correct? From the Public Defender's Office?
Yes, ma'am. I believe so. Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you gave her your current contact information?
Yes, ma'am.
If there's any change to your contact information while your case is pending, you are required to notify the court, and certainly you want to keep the public defender aware. I'm going to advise you of your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, the court will refer you to the local appointing authority for them to make investigation as to representation. You also have the right to a probable cause conference within 14 days of today, a preliminary examination within 21 days, and you have the right to a trial. Do you understand your rights as I've explained them to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. With that, we will proceed with appearances by counsel. We will start with the people.
Trisha Reiser on behalf of the people.
And Assistant Public Defender Chinazi Kiriak and Ruli on behalf of Ashton Grisham Gregory.
Thank you. Counsel, would you like me to read the complaint in this matter, or do you wait for formal reading?
Your Honor, we'd ask that you read it.
Okay. The complaint in this matter states that on or about June 19th of 2024 that you were at 8692 MacArthur Boulevard, that's in Superior Township. Count 1 of 4 alleges that you did willfully and maliciously prevent, obstruct, or delay by any means the sending, conveyance, or delivery of an authorized communication by or through a telephone or telephone line. That's a charge commonly known as interfering with electronic communications. It's a felony with a maximum penalty 2 years in prison and or $1,000. Count 2 alleges that you did make an assault or an assault and battery upon Lynette Harrison, an individual with whom you have had a dating relationship. That's a misdemeanor with a maximum penalty 93 days in jail and or $500. Count 3 alleges that you did make an assault or an assault and battery upon Lynette Harrison, an individual with whom you've had a dating relationship. Again, a misdemeanor with a maximum penalty 93 days in jail and or $500. Count 4 alleges that you did commit the offense of larceny by stealing cell phone and or car keys that belong to Lynette Harrison. The value of property stolen was $200 or more, but less than $1,000. That's misdemeanor with a maximum penalty 1 year in jail and or $2,000 or 3 times the value of the property stolen, whichever is greater. So do you understand what you've been charged with, and do you understand the maximum penalties? Not do you agree or disagree, but do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. The court will have you stay mute. I'll enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. I am going to schedule you for your next court date. That is going to be a probable cause conference. That will be October 24th at 9 a.m. or soon thereafter as your case can be called. That is going to be with Judge Simpson at 14A1 District Court live and in person. We'll send you a notice to appear, and then you will receive additional information from the public defender's office. Do you understand?
He's getting some qual.
Did you say that it's going to be in person, ma'am?
I did.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Very good. Then the next thing we will address in this matter is bond. There are two parts to bond. Bond conditions, those are things the court tells you you can and cannot do. If you violate a bond condition, you're subject to immediate arrest. The other side of bond is whether you can be released today on your own, or whether you'd have to post a bond in order to be released. Before I make any decisions regarding bond or bond conditions, I will hear from counsel. I'm going to go through all of your bond conditions with you, and you'll get a copy of them when we're done. Ms. Reiser, would the people like to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. The people are asking for a $20,000 cash surety bond. In addition, if that bond is posted, we're asking for a GPS tether with the hot zone being MacArthur Boulevard in Ypsilanti. This defendant has a history. Our information is there's a history of unreported domestic violence perpetrated by this defendant. We are asking also for all standard DV bond conditions, including the no contact with the victim, no go to the same address as I indicated for the tether, no firearms components.
Put your hand down. Put your hand down. Just wait. It's not your turn.
Yes, ma'am.
You have to be respectful of Ms. Reiser and of the court.
I apologize. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Ms. Reiser. Proceed.
Thank you. Regarding the request for the cash bond, I will say to the court that the victim, in this particular circumstance, the victim was trying to end things with the defendant because she found out that he had been cheating on her. He punched her in the face. When she tried to call 911, he grabbed her phone and her keys and he took off. She chased him. When the police arrived, they could not find her because she had tried to pursue him. She returned to her car later, and then the defendant eventually came back over and he was still arguing with her. She told him she wanted her phone and keys back. He threw the phone down on the ground behind her car. The victim could not find her keys. She told the defendant to get his stuff out of her car. When she turned her back to attempt to remove items from the trunk of the car, he jumped her from behind. She had several scratches from this. She also advised that one of her braids got pulled out. She tried to defend herself and told the defendant she will call 911 again. He then ran off. The police arrived a second time. The victim still could not find her keys and believed that the defendant still had them. At this time, she reported the assaults to the police. She had not reported them previously, but she reported them on this final call. With all that information, the people believe that the defendant is a danger to this specific victim as well as the community. And so we are asking for the bond conditions as I laid out in addition to the cash surety bond. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Akiri, before I hear from you, I'm going to put you into a breakout room with your client so that you can talk to him so he can remain calm as these things are happening. I'll be honest, when I'm evaluating what to do with a person when they're in custody, I would hope that you would be on your best behavior because I'm making a decision of what should happen. And so if you physically can't control yourself when you're in front of me, when in theory you should be on your best behavior, that makes me concerned. So I'm going to have you talk to Ms. Akiri Akinruli to make sure she understands whatever you were raising your hand about, that that's covered, and then we will hear from her.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, counsel.
Well, that was fun. I find it hard to believe that he's cheating on somebody. A man that in his emotions, I'm surprised he can get any, let alone more than enough. Oh well. It's possible, I suppose. Well, I'm glad I stuck with it. Our narcoleptic and that guy were fantastic. All right. So what's the? Oh, we're just sitting here because of that. That's crazy. That's just crazy.
There is no schedule at Law Talk Nation. You can only pay, you get a notification. If you're lucky, it's a spicy fornication. It's another day on Law Talk with Mike. We got preacher on the dial, planning always make your chest smile. The pros say can't ever share a file. Defendants are always in denial. He was not driving, he's traveling. His reasons and facts are unraveling, unraveling. It's another day of Law Talk with Mike. Courtroom is always popping off. You have a failure appear and you scoff. Judge Simpson is never going soft. Webster is always showing hard. We are heading into that soft six summer. Did you miss the line? That's a bummer. The soft six never get smarter than dumber. He's not the man, he doesn't need a number. He was not driving, he's traveling. His reasons and facts are unraveling, unraveling. It's another day of Law Talk with Mike. Courtroom is always popping off. You have a failure to appear and you scoff. Judge Simpson is never going soft. Webster is always showing hard. Judge Simpson will tell you that being alone, need just have one question, are you a hoe? Mr. Shots, oh Mrs. Shots, oh where did you go? We have questions like on the weekends, do you work selling burritos? The Law Talk with my crew, we're here to laugh at you. We see you in court acting all tough. Your soul's a citizen, life must be so rough. Without getting into further details, there were drugs involved. I thought I was smoking crack, but it was just glue that dissolved. Oh man, I gotta get it together because wow, that was messed up. And your honor, I have IBS and I'm bleeding inside and it's really been rough. The Law Talk with my crew, we're here to laugh at you. We see you in court acting all tough. Your soul's a citizen, life must be so rough. And now Kinky Kelly is shacked up in bed with the fruit bowl. Then the cat jumped on his wiener and started causing trouble. Love exciting and new. We are and always will be the Law Talk with my crew.
All right, we're back on the record on 24 F2-1028FY. At this point, we've heard from Ms. Reiser, and we are now going to hear from Ms. Kiriak and Ruley regarding bond. Counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. I had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Grisham Gregory. He reports that, Your Honor, he's currently homeless. He has been working on trying to get a space at the Delanis Center. I know the court is aware that he wasn't arrested on a date and time of this particular incident. He was arrested. He indicates that there are no new charges that will be stemming from his arrest. I think he was at a friend's home and police came to the home for one reason or another. And that's when he found out that this warrant was currently outstanding. So he was arrested based on that warrant. Obviously, he denies the charges. He's 18, Your Honor, so I asked the court to give him a little bit of grace when it comes to his emotional responses to this particular situation. I've explained to him the importance of no contact and no go-to. I will connect him with our resources we have in our office, as well as any other resources the city may have or the county may have for young people in his position. But
he can't have connections, can he? Can we give him a referral? I'm sorry, go ahead, Council.
That's okay. That was on the top of my list as well, reaching out to Supportive Connections to see. I don't know if he would be eligible for any of the other housing facilities for young people his age.
The
He indicates
wheels
that
of
is
justice
in the
are going
process
to
of
roll
getting
you
his
right
GED,
into the
but
Wayne
he's not
County Jail.
employed right now just because of the lack of stability. So I understand that may not be the most shining representation of who he is or how well he'll do if he's offered a bond. But he's not going to be able to post any cash bond if the court does place one on him. So we're just asking for something reasonable that will allow him to at least start getting connected with some type of resource to change the track that he's currently on.
How far did you go in school?
How far did I go in school?
Yes.
To 11th grade.
Okay.
I had a daughter in Atlanta, Georgia. I started losing. I really didn't know what to do.
Okay.
Her mom started asking for money and stuff. I know you don't want to explain, but that's why I kind of dropped out of school because I was 10 hours away and I didn't have no clue what to do.
So, okay. So this is what I will do. I'm happy to make what referrals I can as well. We're happy to do that, and we will send you an information document over to you at the jail that will include all the referral information that we have. And hopefully if everyone's working together to try to solve that problem, we can try to solve that problem. Because it's important for young people to have some stability in their lives. And I would say this, you will have many more opportunities in life if you can get your GED. I will also say this, everywhere locally is hiring. Restaurants are hiring, grocery stores are hiring. There are jobs all over. It may not be the job you want, but there are lots of jobs locally. Some of them may be closed off to you if you don't have a GED. So I encourage you to get to work on that and try to take care of that as soon as possible. Now, the other side of this, regardless of those circumstances, we have some pretty serious charges that have been levied against you. And of course, they're assaultive in nature, and that is a problem for the court. So I'm going to set bond conditions for you, and it's really important that you understand these bond conditions, because if you fail to comply with the bond conditions, you're subject to immediate arrest.
That's right.
These are your bond conditions. They're not in the order of importance. They're in the order on the form that I'm going to read from, and you're going to get a copy of these when we are done. You are not to use, purchase, or possess any alcohol, illegal drugs, or marijuana. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
We are going to send you for drug and alcohol testing, and you can talk to community corrections about what kind of special programs they may have to help you afford to pay for that testing. But you still need to be tested in a circumstance such as this. That will be standard supervision. It'll be random. My guess is it's going to be once per week. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have photo ID?
No, ma'am. I actually currently just lost it.
So you'll get a copy of your booking photos when you leave the jail, so that they can use that at our community corrections department. Yes?
I'm sorry to cut you off. So that copy paper that I'm going to get, can I use that at 7-Eleven? That's for my job. They told me that I couldn't, unless I have a form of ID to get the job. I need something to have, like my address, my name. That paper that I'm getting, am I going to be able to use that?
I have no idea. I'll talk to 7-Eleven.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry. I just wanted to know. You said something about it. No, I'm sorry.
No, Community Corrections will take that
Okay.
as ID because it's from within their own system.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm
Booking
sorry.
photos are the best ID for getting
You are
inside.
not to purchase or possess any firearms, ammunition, or dangerous weapons, or any gun components, nor are you to be with anyone who has any of those items. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You're not to assault, terrorize, frighten, intimidate, threaten, harass, molest, or stalk anyone. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You're to have no contact with Lynette Harrison. When I say no contact, no direct or indirect, just listen to me, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
No direct or indirect contact with Ms. Harrison, no telephone, email, texting, internet, social media, Skype, Zoom, FaceTime, Facebook, Slack, Discord, Instagram, Snapchat. No contact means no contact. Don't mail her anything. Don't send her anything. Don't have anyone else do what you're not allowed to do. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You are not to go to Ms. Harrison's home, her place of employment, any place where she might go to school. If she has a temporary residence, you're not to go there. If she goes to a house of worship, a church, a synagogue, or a mosque, you're not to go there either. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Are your belongings at her house?
No, ma'am.
Where are your belongings?
My belongings are currently under the bridge by the Delana Center. It's just a hoodie, a shirt, a sleeping bag. It ain't
Okay.
nothing.
All right. I don't want you going back to her place, and I don't want you having any contact with her.
Yes, ma'am. I fully understand. I will not.
You are not to violate any criminal law. You're required to appear at any and all court hearings and other places as directed by the court. All of the conditions I've given you, they will exist whether you're in custody or out of custody. They remain in full force and effect until changed by the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So this is a difficult case because I appreciate that probably no matter what bond I set, you're not going to be able to post it.
No, it's not difficult.
And that's, I don't like people, I don't want or like keeping people in jail if I can avoid keeping people in jail. And in a circumstance like this, if I can have some confidence that you're going to stay away from this person, there's not really a suggestion that you're a danger to other people.
He's homeless.
It looks like it's
Put him in
just that
jail.
you've been a danger to her.
Do him a favor.
Then I would be hopeful that if I can convince you to stay away from her, and then you'll stay away from her. I also have an issue that you really don't have any ties to our community. And that's a problem too. So that suggests that you might be a flight risk.
Huh?
This is a continued pattern of behavior, and that's what really gives me pause. So the fact that it's more than one circumstance where it's alleged you put your hands on somebody without consent. There are allegations that this individual was injured, that she was able to demonstrate injuries to the police. He interfered with her ability to go get help by taking car keys and taking her phone and not giving those things back. And that's really of further concern. So I'm going to set a cash bond in this matter. And it doesn't give me joy to do that, but I think that's appropriate in this circumstance. It's going to be $5,000 cash or surety. And that's the best I can do at this time. We've given you the next available date that we have for you to see the judge. And while you are where you are, that will give everyone an opportunity to do some work to try to get some resources available to you, to maybe try to find some housing for you. And I know that Ms. Akiri Akaruli's office will get to work on that. And I will put in the referral as well so that we can see if we can't get moving on that to get you some resources so that hopefully you'll be in a better place. So that you can take good care of yourself and hopefully not have any other kind of interactions. Do you have any questions for me?
So I got a $500 bond and I can't get out today.
It's 5,000. Yes.
Not no 10%.
We can't, it's not, no.
They gotta pay. Bro, I'm hey.
Ashton,
he needs
I'm gonna come and see you. and we'll figure it out, okay?
Good call, Judge. He needs it.
They gotta pay that whole thing.
Ashton, I will explain to you how it works and what options you have available, okay?
How did that work? How did
I
that
will come and see
work?
you.
So I gotta stay here for the rest of
This is how he's got through life.
I got court.
He's actually smooth.
October 24th. But like I said, I'll come
Be
and
very
see you
polite.
this week.
He's very smooth. He's very manipulative.
5,000. October 24. All right, man.
This is. He's gotten out of everything that way.
Thank you, Ms. Akiri Akinruli.
That's exactly what needed to happen. He'll get straightened out probably and do fine, but he needs real consequences where he can't cry his way out.
Good morning. What is your name, please?
Aaron McCollum.
You're still not ready. We'll be with you in just a second.
Okay.
What did you say?
McCollum. Mr. McCollum, a magistrate Garwood, I'm going to handle your cases today. You actually have 2 open files with us. You have one from February and you have one from, it looks like, yesterday. We're going to start with the older file first.
This is a fantastic call. We tripped upon gold here, people. Now, I feel sorry for the last guy. He clearly didn't have a father.
Do I have them both?
I don't know that, but that's my guess.
Oh, they're just not together.
Because if you did any of that stuff and you had a man in
All right, the first file is 24 FB-1409FY. Tell me your full and complete name for the record with your middle name.
Aaron Montrese McCollum.
Thank you. And Mr. McCollum, you've had a chance to speak with Ms. Akiri Akinruli, is that correct?
Who's that?
That's the public defender. You spoke with her earlier today. I think her camera wasn't on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And when you spoke with her, you gave her your current contact information, correct?
Yes.
Thank you. If there's any change to your contact information, address, email, or telephone number, you are required to notify the court. Certainly you'll want to keep the public defender aware as well, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to advise you of your rights. On this case, you have the felony. So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, the court will refer you to the local appointing authority for them to make investigation as to representation. You also have the right to a probable cause conference within 14 days of today. You have the right to a preliminary examination within 21 days, and you have the right to a trial. Do you understand your rights as I've explained them to you?
Yes.
Very good. I am going to Ms. Akiri Akinruli assist you in this matter as counsel. We'll proceed with appearances by counsel.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
And Assistant Public Defender Chinazi Akiri Akinruli on behalf of Mr. Aaron McCullum.
Thank you. All right, counsel, would you like me to read the complaint in this matter, or do you waive formal reading?
We would ask that the court read the complaint, Your Honor.
Thank you. The complaint in this matter alleges that on or about February 4th of 2024, that you were at 6116 Lake Drive, apartment 347 in Ypsilanti Township. The single charge alleges that you did assault, batter, wound, resist, obstruct, oppose, or endanger Nicholas Piragi and or Alex Phillips, a sheriff or deputy sheriffs with the county of Washington that you knew or had reason to know were performing their duties. That's a felony. Carries a maximum penalty 2 years in prison and or $2,000. Do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes,
Do you understand the maximum penalty for that crime?
I was innocent. Do I get any leeway?
First, answer my question. Do you understand what the maximum penalty is for the charge?
Yes,
Okay. We're nowhere near what the consequences will be of this case. Okay? So today is just your arraignment. So today, the court advises you of your rights, advises you of the charge and the penalty. Make sure you have an attorney. We schedule you for your next court date and we set your bond conditions and bond so that we can keep everybody safe and ensure that you come back to court. Do you understand?
okay.
Okay. So we're going to have you stand mute today. I'll enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. I'm going to schedule you for your next court date. That's going to be a probable cause conference October 24th. That will be at 9 a.m. or soon thereafter as your case can be called. That's in front of Judge Simpson at the 14A1 District Court. That's live and in person. We'll send you a notice to appear. You'll receive additional information from the Public Defender's Office. Do you understand?
Yes.
Very good. The next part of this case will be bond. I will hear from the people if they wish to be heard. I will also hear from your counsel if she wishes to address bond. I'll go through all your bond conditions and then you'll get a copy of them. Ms. Reiser.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're requesting standard bond conditions in this case.
Thank you.
In Your Honor, I had an opportunity to speak with my client. Judge, we're asking, I would be asking for a PR bond. I spoke with Aaron and I explained to him, well, in this case, this is an RNO. Is that right, Judge?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And so I explained to him the importance of bond conditions and how it's going to be important that he abide by whichever conditions the court has set. He's assured me that that's something that he's capable of doing and willing to do. So we're just asking for a reasonable bond to be set.
Thank you. All right. So I am going to set the following bond conditions in this case. You're not to use, purchase, or possess any alcohol, illegal drugs, or marijuana. Do you have a medical marijuana card?
No.
All right. You would have no assaultive behavior towards anyone. When I define that, I say that means do not assault, harass, intimidate, beat, molest, wound, frighten, or threaten anyone. Do you understand?
Yes.
Don't commit any crimes while your case is pending. Don't leave the state of Michigan without prior permission of the court. Don't purchase or possess any firearms, ammunition, dangerous weapons, or gun components, and don't be with anyone who has any of those items. You're required to appear for all of your court cases or of your court appearances and anywhere where you're directed to appear by the court, and all of your conditions, they will exist whether you're in custody or out of custody. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to set a dollar amount or a PR amount on this case because I want to hear the circumstances of the other case, and then I will set the bond amounts for both after I hear the other case. And we'll see what we can do on this file. Do you have any questions regarding your bond conditions?
Nope.
All right. So then what I will do, hopefully counsel has no objection, no one's jumped up. So what I will do is I will switch to the other file. This is WCSD 24-78404. And again, Mr. McCollum, tell me your name for the record.
Aaron Montrese McCollum.
Thank you. I'm going to again remind you of your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, the court will refer you to the local appointing authority for them to assist you with this matter. Again, Ms. Akiri-Akinruli will assist you today. I've signed the paper to refer you to the local appointing authority. You have the right to a probable cause conference within 14 days of today and a preliminary examination within 21 days. You also have the right to a trial. Do you understand your rights as I've explained them to you?
Yes.
Very good. In this case, I'm going to read the complaint and then we'll put appearances on the record. The complaint in this matter alleges that on or about October 11th of 2024 that you were at 6116 Lake Drive, apartment 347. Again, that's in Ypsilanti Township. Count 1 of 2 alleges that you did willfully and maliciously prevent, obstruct, or delay by any means the sending, conveyance, or delivery of an authorized communication by or through a telephone or a telephone line. That is a felony with a maximum penalty 2 years in prison and or $1,000. Count 2 alleges that you did make an assault or an assault and battery upon Teresa Stewart. That's a misdemeanor charge with a maximum penalty 93 days in jail and or $500. Do you understand the charges and the maximum penalty?
I'm innocent on that also, but I didn't assault anyone.
Okay, but I'm not asking you if you assaulted someone. I'm asking you, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Oh, yes.
Okay, and just on a technical level, an assault or an assault and battery, it's important to understand an assault has a slightly different definition legally than if we're just hanging out, you know, just common definition. So when we talk about an assault, it's putting someone in fear of unwanted contact. That's an assault. And then a battery is completing that. So an assault doesn't mean that you touched somebody. An assault can mean that you put someone in fear. So just so that's clear. I'm going to have you stay mute. I'll enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. I'm going to have counsel place their appearances on the record, and then I'm going to set this for the same court date that your other case is scheduled for. Counsel?
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
And Assistant Public Defender Chinazi Kiri, I can really on behalf of Mr. McCartney.
Thank you. So we'll schedule both cases for probable cause on October 24th at 9 a.m. or as soon thereafter as the cases can be called. They will both be with Judge Simpson at the 14A1 District Court. And again, we will send you notices to appear for both of those cases, and the Public Defender's Office is going to be in touch with you. We'll proceed with bond arguments on this case. Ms. Reiser.
Thank you, Your Honor. In this case, we are asking for a cash surety bond of $10,000. In this case, the defendant assaulted his mother and then took her phone, preventing her from calling for assistance. He made a threat to her, said, "I will hit you upside your head." Specifically indicated, "No, you're not calling the police," when he grabbed her phone. So he knew that's what she was going to do. There are ongoing issues, is my understanding, related to mental health concerns. However, I believe that the victim is not safe with the defendant, especially given that they reside in the same household. I am asking for a no-go to that location, in addition to the $10,000 cash surety bond. I'm asking for no contact with the victim, in this case, Teresa Stewart. I'm also asking for all standard bond conditions, which would include no weapons, no firearms. I believe that the defendant is prohibited from having such, but I still wish to have that as a bond condition. And in this case, it's disturbing because of how quickly it escalated. There was it sounded like a verbal disagreement or maybe misunderstanding. It was so minor that apparently the defendant asked what was for dinner, and mom didn't feel like talking about it and basically said ice, and the defendant got very upset with her and basically pushed her with his own body and made that threat that I indicated about hitting her upside the head and grabbing her phone, saying, "You're not going to call the police." So I'm concerned, to say the least, about family member safety, and so I am asking for the bond conditions as I laid out. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Akiri, I can relate.
Yes, Your Honor. We were asking for a reasonable bond to be set in this amount. Mr. McCullum did talk to me about some of the mental health issues that he suffers from. He says that in the past, what has happened is that the police would usually take him to the hospital to be able to be evaluated. I didn't get to find out if he was still compliant with medication through CMH. It took us a little while to get to this point in regards to conversations
Well,
because
the hospital failed.
he didn't track as well, as I would have hoped.
What is going on? Did they go off again? All right, did the stream go off, or is this just because I'm in Warsaw? Oh, it went off.
A pair of surprises for
I would have played some Wilco there for us. All right, I surrender. We're 2 hours and 22 minutes in. If she ever shows up, I'll just do a quickie. Because I need a nap. I actually had a really fun day. I took a long walk, and I went through the park over, the biggest park in Warsaw, and it was absolutely spectacular. Nice crisp fall day. Trees all over the place, leaves changing. It's all just stunning, just beautiful. But I need a nap. Yeah, what time is it here? It's 6:12. I am feeling better though. Thank you guys. This was actually therapeutic. I think the worst of it was yesterday. I'm still not feeling great, but this actually, I don't know, just diverted me from feeling bad, and I literally feel better than when we started. You guys are the best. A little therapy, a little vacation cold therapy from my chat. It truly helped. All right. If Shu shows up and says something crazy, I'll do something with it. But I'm tired of fighting this. What do we have? We had the sound go out for reasons I don't understand, and then we had him just turn off the stream twice on us. But what we did have some bonus content. I started with like the worst call ever, although that cranky judge told him to knock it off. I did enjoy it, but other than that, he was a slow talker. But we stuck with it and ended up having some. We had the narcoleptic and the crier. And that was solid material. I can't complain. Thank y'all for coming out. I'll see y'all soon.